Redevelopment Agency Board, meeting to order. 7/2023. Got 5, members here at the moment. Everybody look at the consent agenda. Oh. We can do a pledge of allegiance, we'll ask, Mr. Jim Madison to do the pledge of allegiance, and we'll have a moment of silence. Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence. Okay. We have, Ms. Bullock, present, Ms. Eddie Field present, Mayor Bezek present, Commissioner Alderman present, and Commissioner Lowry is on his way. Commissioner Langston present. I just want to put on record that, school board member, Mr. Martin Davis, the meeting, therefore he's not here today. Okay, we'll start with, the approval of the consent agenda. Make a motion to approve. Motion got a second. Second. A second, approved, 5. We have, our business, items on the agenda is, property search update. Does anybody have anything on that?
I went by looking at the property, a good piece of property, but I did think it's a little bit far away from MLK, which is kind of our goal to help development on MLK by having an additional parking in the area, so I'd still like to see us try. Maybe bar steel or something, get a piece of property on MLK that we can just park. I don't know if we're gonna give up on that, but y'all tell me if it's beating our head against the wall, or maybe there's a little glimmer of hope that we might get a lot.
I think it's probably more we got here because a lot of them want to keep this.
Oh, appreciate that. Oh, split that red button.
But, what we were talking about, is the, property search update. We was, a little background, we're looking for property, so that, city, that CRA could buy, that will have parking for, MLK and hopefully for development. Mr. Miller was, talking at the moment.
Yeah, just about. I thought, I'd like, keep trying to find a piece on MLK. You know, it runs for quite a few blocks. It might be somebody on that MLK would mind selling a lot that is suitable, large enough to have parking that'll increase. It'll help folks that don't have enough parking to develop a business like we did with, Mr. Pittman. But, I know we haven't had any success, but I don't particularly want to completely rule it out. you know, like you guys live in that neighborhood to keep your ear to the ground maybe, and, we find something we can afford.
Only other property I can think of is, down by Avenue F. And little kid that lived that corner down by Joyce Baxter. Then the other property I can think of is right there on Avenue 8 where London Gant had her house. Seems like it's about 2 or 3 lots right there. That's right on Avenue 8, that connect.
A&M,
Yeah. So
Yeah, block of three, block of one.
yeah.
Ain't block.
Block. One house, really. The other one is across the street where Mr. Moses John used to have his store, right there on that corner. And if they do anything to that house that's right behind it, that'll be right there at, Old Starlight and that property. That'll be $50 on there, I think.
I think I think it's more, a lot of that property is air property. It belongs to, family members, you know, air property. And, you know, it's hard to get people to agree. Two things, especially when you got family members that haven't seen each other or whatever. I can't speak. It's tough to get everybody together and
Agree on something.
yeah. And if somebody got their property that owns it solely, they're not gonna probably not gonna sell because they see, you know, some value and it may be sentimental value as well. So that's the reason it's so hard to find anything.
Yeah.
The property that in my mind probably be on the top of my list would be the property that St. Joe Company sold us. It's under the DEP contaminated land. Work out a deal with St. Joe. They keep the property that's contaminated and under that program, sell the city or donate to the city the remainder of that property. You would have parking just as close to MLK, actually closer to MLK than you do that lot that we acquired and bought for Reed Avenue. Sits virtually in the perfect place.
Yeah.
And kind of combines the two areas of our downtown better. And then if you had a special event, you could pull from either or whichever lot you needed. And I think seems like every time I watch the news, St. Joe's giving $1 million away to everybody before St. Joe.
I'm telling you.
Maybe that'd be we could reach out to them and say, hey, we forgive you for selling us contaminated land. Mr. Gonzalez, do you want to do something to save face in the city of Port St. Joe?
And you're talking about the old ballpark property in Shine Drive.
Yeah, and I know
Somewhere
when
in
we
that area.
discovered it was a contamination issue. I think the property closer to where the old ball field was, because it was right there at that railroad was the contaminated part, but the good property was the corner.
Yeah.
Coming off Langston Drive and
That's
hey,
right.
that's what you
That's border no ball.
yeah, I have issue with DEP, let them keep that.
There's a 1/4 acre lot right at that corner owned by Apalachicola Northern Railroad.
And I know
On the right side, on the left side of David Langston Drive, but at what corner?
It's right there in the corner. When we bought the property, there's still a sliver of property when you get up to the stop sign there at Avenue A and Langston Drive. There's a little sliver there. 1/4 acre.
Well,
But the majority of it was under the property that the city increased.
Well, now's the perfect time to be dealing with them since we're about to deal with them on that concrete property that they own.
I'll be fine too, trying to do another long-term lease.
Something,
I
yeah.
mean, it's easier.
Yeah, well, you figure with the parking lot, you're not really wanting to disturb the property underneath anyway, so I don't know that it really matters as long as you're not in any wetlands. I think you could do a parking lot, really, very little trouble.
I mean, what's the odds of the city needing property and the two companies that own the property. One has a concrete plant that we're trying to demo. It's the biggest eyesore in the city limits of Fort St. Joe. And the second one sold this contaminated land to build a city hall on. I think we can play that card, shame them into being responsible, supporters, champions, and partners of Fort St. Joe.
Well, Jim, if you reached out to, A&N Railroad, who's non-existent, they're Genesee, Wyoming or something, bought them out, isn't that right? But, and fill them out, see if they're interested in selling.
That's gonna be too small. If you look at the,
It's
it's just a little
a
sliver.
pie shape.
If you were gonna do it, I think Commissioner Hoffman's got the idea, if you're gonna use it potentially to get either a long-term lease or a commitment on the property that we previously held, because that way you've got ingress and egress to be able to put a big size parking lot. That's on that corner. You got so many issues. I don't think you'll be able to do much parking right there. It's just that little piece. But we can reach out to them to see if there's any interest in doing like what they did potentially down at the other one. Put some rock on, or maybe give you a long-term lease.
But could we count that as extra parking for development on MLK?
If you can show where you have a long-term lease agreement on the property, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
What about just paving parking on the edge of the road?
Yeah, we could pave some spots like they're doing on Second Street.
Exactly, yeah.
That's another thing you could do.
You go both sides.
That might be the cheapest way to go.
You could actually, because you should have a 60-foot right of way there, so potentially you could put parking along on the other side of the road, both sides, potentially too.
Might be an answer.
Both sides of Langston Drive.
I don't think you can do both sides of Langston Drive because you got a sidewalk and everything there. You don't have enough right of way. But down on Avenue A, you could do it on the south side.
Both sides.
Across from the pharmacy and the restaurant.
Yeah, potentially.
Look at Mike LaPorte coming up with this great idea.
Just thought he was high five.
Yeah. Duly noted.
Sounds good. Let's look into that.
Get John to measure that. And see if we need spots to get in there. Right? Indeed. Same stuff. Okay.
If anybody else, have anything on property search? Financial update?
Yes, sir. Chairman, we are getting to the point we're going to invoice the county for TIF money in the city. So we should be getting our money first of January, which is due to.
I'll just talk about spending it.
What we got to spend again?
100 and something.
120? I'm sorry, I didn't bring my, I forgot my.
I think over 100.
Somewhere around there.
And a portion of that, I believe, when it was voted on the budget, was earmarked specifically for, property acquisition.
Yep.
They citizens, you heard, got anything, Pastor?
Yeah, I would like to go back and talk about just what you had on the table about the property. One of the things that we, Chester Davis, 282 Avenue D, one of the things you guys talked about was the Avenue A side. At one point, we talked about trying to acquire that property, if it was said to be property that had been messed up by the paper mill, dumpster site or whatever, we were willing to put that into our bid for being reset or redug up or fixed up through our program that we have with the grant that we got. So if those properties are up for sale, especially right there by the old ballpark, how much of that right there was contaminated? That we could look at as option purchase or put in there and have it remediated and then used for parking, especially when you're coming towards MLK. And on the edge of that easement right there where the old ballpark was, there used to always be plenty of places to park all the way down to just about where that road went into the railroad shop. So that could probably easily be another 20 parking spots somewhere in that area also there. But I think it just needs to be measured out and looked at. But if there's some area that's contaminated and they're not gonna use it, why can't we just put that up for sale so we can remediate it and put it into that plan where we have doing some work on North Port St. Joe side? It should be part of the conversation, especially if it's contaminated, nobody's gonna use it. We put it up for remediation, add it to the contaminated site and sell it. Because when we look at what the offer from Patrick Barnes is that if they can come in and fix that property up or dig it out and clean it up and then make it commercial use or not necessarily residential, but commercial use, parking would be excellent.
We take that into consideration.
Thank you.
On board, anybody got, we'll start with, got anything?
Still on the, I think it came up last meeting with Ms. McElroy brought up about $400,000. That was allocated from Northport St. Joe. I see where, Mr. Anderson responded to Avenue C and Avenue D. $400,000 went for Avenue C and Avenue D.
Last year, in the general fund, we did road paving for Long Avenue, we did it for Avenue C and D, and that money was put into that pot in there in Avenue C.
That came up to $400,000.
I think it was actually, I had 500,000, I think, for that one. I don't know. I can get it.
Yeah, because that's what I requested last time. I was curious about $400,000. Now, on that question, there was Avenue C and D, are they gonna finish from MLK to 98, Highway 98?
No, so we applied for a grant, we did not get the funding this past year, but we did apply for SCOP funding, but it didn't. So at this point in time, there's not a funding.
I remember when that discussion came up, we were gonna do C and D from Peter Street all the way to 98. That's the understanding that I had at the time we had the city commission meeting.
It was about funding. Right now with the SCOP grants, the last couple of ones that we got roughly $500,000. So the last, I think, 481, 487, the bids have come in so much higher on there. So I think the scope of work had to get reduced back down based strictly by.
If I know Avenue D, really right there by there's Bullock's house, and dip that went down like that, they put some pavement over it, but you can tell that's starting to go right back down again. Evidently there's some kind of drainage problem there or something, because it keeps sinking. And anytime you go on, probably, I know when I'm going down, I have to go around it now. When they first fixed it, I could kind of go across, it was okay, but now you still have to kind of do that because of that drainage area.
We need to look at what our options are and figure out.
There's a hole there. By the Foxford House and the Addison House. There's a hole in the concrete, in the road.
Okay.
But if the child ain't care for them, they can step in there and it's gonna break a leg. Because up under there, I guess it's about maybe 2 inches or more, this hollow. And I did call someone from the city, and they put a cone there for a while, but I haven't seen it there. And if it's there, they just want to move it. He said that he was gonna get someone out there to look at it, because I could I reached my arm down in it, and I think it came around together. And it was in the dark, and somebody's walking and they stepping out, oh, it's gonna be bad.
Is that the newly paved part, or that's the part from MLK to 98?
In our Addison house, I think it's 170.
That's old. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
179 Avenue D, I think it's, yes.
Okay, we're going. Good, we looked into, so we worked on it several times, I'm talking about throughout the year.
Yeah.
Each year, a couple of times each year, so it's definitely some drainage issue, like, I don't know, it's a pipe or something that's not right, but we really do need to look into it,
And it's like a hole there. I called the cops out to look at it, to bring a cone or something. And what it was, she's got dementia, and she was over there, I went over there and just happened to have been standing there and saw it. And I called the city, but then eventually I just stopped the cop, and he went and got a cone and put it there for me. Said he was gonna report, but
I'll get you guys to check it out. Yeah, on Avenue D, you have a stormwater pipe, there's problematic, and also on Avenue F. You ever buy Chicken House Branch over there, boy, that problem right there, every couple of years we're back there. Those are two that. Correct.
Yeah, that was my concern about Avenue C and Avenue D. Definitely that right there, with the impression that it's gonna go all the way to 98, that's what I solved that problem. Not going to 98. Now, let me ask this other question. Driving downtown, I don't know what you're gonna do, cut the sidewalk off a little bit more, angle the lines a little bit differently, because when you going through there, some of those trucks they out so far, if they don't see you, they already on you. Every time I go through there and I see a truck like that, I'm hesitant, because I say, once they hit me, then what, because he's already out there. Some of these trucks that I see, they got that long trailer hitch back there where they put in the boat, and they're coming down their park, they're already in. That to me, that's very bad. Whoever designed that, they need to.
We just passed a parking ordinance that, the police are supposed to be looking on trucks that stick out past the end of the white lines, and they're supposed to light them up. And I moved some off. I was eating lunch one day and saw them move somebody off that had lumber sticking way out in Reed Avenue. It wasn't even common sense, but anyway, yeah, we're aware of that, and yeah. One of these days, that Reed might be one way, I don't know. Anyway, another story for another day.
somebody got anything?
No, I talked about property, that's the main thing I'm focusing on.
Is it all right?
I'm good, all that, been what?
I have one question. Does anyone know what the requirements are on how often CRA board has to meet? I know we're currently meeting once a month, and I was wondering, have conflicts with other people going to other meetings and things, and maybe start questioning. I wonder if other areas are actually meeting once a month, and based on the simplicity of the agenda, I would be fine. I know that's your call, Mr. Chairman, but I would be fine with going to the board meeting.
That works, and then if something comes up,
Yeah, you can always call a meeting.
special meeting.
I could probably figure it out. Give us an idea.
As long as we're abiding by the rules.
Right. There's rules on how many have to be on the committee. I'm sure it's gonna cover when you have to be, when your budget has to be voted on, all those things. I think we do a better service to the community by actually meeting, and the things that we need to deal with. That's all I have, thank you.
Okay, look, Mike, looking at that,
Yes, sir. I'll see if I can find it.
we'll come back the next week, we'll vote, we got to vote on that.
Yes, sir, I think you have to establish your meeting dates and
I'll
times.
just think about it, actually want to do that. Next, meeting we'll vote on.
I know the TDC, like advisory council meets quarterly, and that seems to be working well, and they're working with a multi-million-dollar budget, I'm guessing, so I think we could pull it off.
Anything else, Mr.? I got something, I'm sure we got, I talked with Jim, we got money in, landscaping, budget for the CRA, Jim.
Streetscape, what we did this past year, we put you some money up there for streetscape options on there for things to be done on streetscapes.
So, I thought about it, I think that, we should invest some of the state money into some, Christmas decoration for, MLK. I don't know, the prices of it will get, pass it, will get somebody looking to the prices, but I think we can invest some of that money into some nice Christmas lights for, MLK. I'll be bringing it up, well, have to discuss it in the city commission meeting, but the lighting situation, which I'm sure it won't be a problem, hopefully, but, that's what I would like to do.
Can, anybody recall about how much we budgeted for streets?
I want to say it's about $12,000. Commissioner Langston and I went and looked a few minutes ago to see what we had down there. We have four is all we have down there now as far as on the pole. I think we can get at least four more that we can get one or two on there. And most of those decorations like that are about $2,000 or $3,000.
A piece.
And large ones, yeah, large. Well, and then you have to also, you've got to get Duke Energy to establish power to the location, and it's a monthly bill, so.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this, I'm 100% in support of lighting MLK. I'm not going to be crazily in support of CRA having to pay. And here's the reason. Why would the city pay for all of Reed Avenue and then stop? If we're buying lights for our downtown area, in my mind, MLK encompasses part of that downtown area. That's what we're trying our best to get, is people to, use all of downtown. So you're gonna hear me at the next meeting say that I support it and that the city should pay for it.
Well, I have the same opinion, but I thought that maybe, since when I walked through and saw what I saw, the first thing that came to my mind was having a CRA meeting. I think that we use some of that money to get a good investment for the CRA, we use some of that money to invest into. Well, the city could pay for the lights, and we could find something else down, and we'll get invest some of that money into.
Yeah, you was wrong. And several years ago, we decided as a city now, I know we're PSJ, but as a city, we talked about upgrading and putting money to upgrade Christmas lights every year. Because ours have gotten so ratty and so terrible that we should have accumulated enough to do all the main streets in the city.
We have changed out over the last couple of years. That stuff, it's amazing that stuff costs on us to get. We've been paying like 10, 15 grand a year.
I think one of the main issues about the lighting on MLK is that the plugs, you get in the plugs, are not on those lights. And we talked about it before, but we're bringing it up into discussion in the city meetings, okay?
And how many there is and all that. We go ahead and start that, get that going.
Well, yeah.
We talked to John this morning, trying to get the form to fill out so we can go ahead. Now, I can't promise you they're gonna be done this week or next week, but we're gonna get the form filled out soon. We're gonna ask for a favor so we can get it done.
I'm agree with the lights, so I'm glad you brought that up, when I thought about that, they have the Christmas lights right there at the traffic light there, Hungry Howard's. I noticed there was some new Christmas decorations right there that made me think, right there, even on MLK also, down by Taco Bell. Right in that area right there, some of that decoration they got by Hungry House, they put that right there because everybody coming into the city, as soon as they cross there, and they can look and they can start seeing the decorations more right on through. And I thought that would be a good spot to put some Christmas decoration right there.
I think the more we can do on MLK, as far as lighting, sprucing it up, the bigger impact we will have in deterring throwing the dice, smoking weed in that one lot. We deal with it on a weekly basis. I mean, and because people are going to want to do that. If it's lit up, it looks nice and appealing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anything else, anybody got anything?
Some of the move.
This is something like for.
You want me to turn it off for a minute?
Yeah.
They thaw it out?
It's a big, I was looking at the.